For our first foray into the mind of someone who overanalyzes movies, we are going to take a look at the Monsters, Inc. and Monsters University movies. We won't be talking about the show, because I haven't watched the show at all. We've watched the movies so many times because it's the first movie that my son, Sully, actually wanted to sit through. We graduated from YouTube shorts and just random shit to a movie. We've watched Monsters, Inc. probably 3 times a day for the past month and a half. And Monsters University came in at about half a month ago. So, we've watched it a lot. I felt these inconsistencies. I've seen these inconsistencies before when I had seen it as a kid and everything. But now as an adult, I really can piece them apart. Let's get into the subject matter here. Little stupid details. Mike negates the prequel movie in the first minutes of the original movie when he says Sully has been jealous of him since the 4th grade. Yeah, so there's going to be a lot of that. The prequel idea is good in concept, but it fucks cheeky lines like that from the original movie, and there's a ton of them. And I'm the guy who notices every single one. Maybe not every single one, but a lot. You might be a person who notices that too, which means you also noticed that in Monsters University, it's well established that Sully comes from a long line of scarers. It's also well established that Mike is a huge fan of scarers. He has 6,000 mint condition cards. How the fuck does Mike not recognize Sully or make it known that he knows who his family is? I get you saying, maybe he did and he just never said it. Bullshit. If I met Duncan Jones and he wasn't even famous yet, I would still shit my fucking pants right then and there. Well, bam. I refuse to believe that Mike would be so adversarial to Sully, up to the point of like the mid-scare games. The dean is an asshole for no reason. I hate her. God, I fucking hate the scene. Anyways, hey, do you notice the numbers on the big board don't make any sense? Because I did, and I do every time I see the movie. What does this mean? Why do I need to know? Because it's goddamn there, and I have a need. What the fuck are these representing? Okay, here's a sensible number. Surely this is one we can rely on to never be compromised. Back to those numbers. Randall scares 1 kid, and his tank goes up, but it doesn't fill up all the way. His scare total goes up 116 points.
Sir? What? Look.
Sully scares between 23 and 14 kids at the slumber party, and he fills up between 9 and 21 tanks.
Slumber party.
His total then goes up 218. I reason my numbers because the scare totals change from 67 to 92 between when Randall scares his kid to when George is attacked by the CDA. So factoring in those 2 kids we know Sully did not scare, we have a potential total of 23. But there is a chance all the other doors were active, so there would have been 9 other kids potentially scared, so 14.
The numbers, Mason. What do they mean?
No matter what, none of these numbers make any sense or add up at all. Mike and Sulley break a door and fill all the tanks in the storage room, 163 at least, with the screams from 5 park rangers. This has to be Canada, by the way. The rangers don't have guns. If Sully scared 14 kids, which is the bottom number at the slumber party, how didn't it create a dimensional rift, and how did it only fill up between 9 and 21 tanks? We are to assume kids' emotions are more powerful, because, you know, kids and shit, then it should have shattered reality when he scared that slumber party. Even if children's emotions aren't necessarily more powerful than adults, it should have done insane numbers on the scare board instead of some 218 bullshit.
The numbers, Mason.
Jesus, they filled over half that number in tanks from the adults. Should they just be scaring adults? Fuck! Honestly, that is my only personal problem from the first movie, just for me, just me, is the numbers.
The numbers, Mason. What do they mean?
I always get fucking hung up on the numbers from that scene when they're doing the scares and the scare totals and stuff. That all being said, Sully should have been able to flush Boo's toys down the toilet because, you know, monsters probably take monster shit. Back to other inconsistencies. Why does it matter if a kid cries when you try and scare them? The dean makes a point to get mad at Sully because he would have made the kid cry, but Boo makes the lights change when she cries in the first movie. Do all human emotions create power for the monsters? Could something be more powerful than laughter? Are adult emotions stronger than kid emotions? The second movie fucking pisses me off. Sully says he learns everything he knows from Waternoose, and then he does the old Waternoose jump and growl. He beats Randall by doing the jump and growl in the competition. The prequel movie adds more questions to the first movie. I refuse to believe that Mike and Sulley would be scared of Boo if they did that shit in college. If I fought 5 adult bears and won, a baby bear wouldn't scare me. Also, their dean says they did something no one has ever done before. They surprised her. The dean is an asshole for no reason. If I was in college and I broke cold fusion and it happened to do a little damage to a single room and break an outlet in someone's clay project, I wouldn't get expelled. I'd get a fucking grant from the government. There's no way they'd get kicked out after they created more energy at one time than anyone else has. Which gets me back to why I hate the prequel idea so much. Mike and Sulley were established characters based on the first movie. Sulley is like Superman, super confident, super nice, super chill, always on top. Mike is his hype man, and he's always been by his side, and he loves it. I love that. I love the buddy aspect. I love that they established that they've known each other since the 4th grade. A lot of people have a childhood best friend. I get that everybody has a college buddy too, but a childhood best friend is different. The intro to the first movie is the best thing Pixar has ever done for a movie too. Fight me in the streets if you disagree. But no, the door breaking also leads to another huge plot hole that has been established by both movies. And it would have helped make a better sequel movie. Monsters can get back after being banished. In both movies, it's established that a monster can break back into the monster world after being banished. That would have made an infinitely better movie. You get 5 of them. A vampire-y dude, a werewolf, a creature from the Black Lagoon, a Mothman,
and one other thing.
And you have them break back into the monster world, kick Mike and Sulley out for whatever reason, and then maybe they're like kidnapping kids, or they want to scare adults because they know they've got more power in them, but the other monsters, like the higher up monsters from back in the day that originally banished them because them scaring adults made the adults want to go to like war with them or something. I don't know. I'm not a Disney writer. Just don't make it, about racism in the end. Speaking of racism, the Monsters universe was the Zootopia universe, but enough animals banged the wrong animals, and now you get monsters. You have to prove me wrong. I don't have to prove myself any more right than I already did. The things I like. I'm going to be quick about this, though, because I feel like I've gone on for way too long now, and I don't have a lot from the second movie. Not that I don't like the second movie, it's just that there's things that were in the background of that movie that you were meant to see, whereas in the first movie, nobody was supposed to see Ebola Cola or Primordial Ooze Soda. And those things are some of my favorite things. The monsters use inefficient tech like CRT screens and Nixie tubes and all sorts of just not great stuff. That's probably why they have a scream shortage. There's a lot of an older script in this movie a lot about a refinement process. In one of the original ideas, Sully was actually not a scarer because he was so scared of kids, and he worked at the refinement plant. That's why in the Monsters Inc. commercial, they have a whole, like, not a whole part, but they mention the refining. They just didn't want to take it out, probably because it was so done in the process, and they liked it so much.
I'm Monsters Incorporated.
Carefully matching every child to their ideal monster to produce superior scream, refined into clean, dependable energy.
I would have honestly really liked to have seen that version, just because Pixar in the early days was just sending out banger after banger, so it would have been still a good movie, it just would have been a lot different. Sully's chair is already damaged, that's probably why he's okay with destroying it more. Monsters Inc. has a jazz fest that's been going on for 3 years, which means it would have started in 98 or 97, depending on the time of year. There are 2 absolutely tiny details that I noticed that could be from, like, maybe they watched the first movie a bunch and they incorporated it a little bit into the second movie as far as, like, character development in this way. I highly doubt it. I think I'm reading too much into this. Mike hypes up Sully because he knows he has confidence issues from when Sully opened up to him in the human world, and then after when they go and they're leaving college. Sully goes to Mike with Boo because Mike is the expert on pretty much everything. I know he didn't finish college, but by the time he left college, he was such an expert at scaring and relatively the human world, he knew he could bust back into the monster world with a good scare. Okay, and that's it. And before you put in the comments some of the stupid background shit, like the fact that Nemo is in this before Nemo came out, and Jesse and the ball and the truck, yeah, I fucking noticed. Did you notice that this knife has blood on it? I bet you didn't. Also, side note, my dad fought a bear in college, and when I was like 5, we were at a place called Priest Lake. We were renting a cabin, whatever. The park rangers came around and told everybody there's a bear. He tried to coax the bear out of a tree with bacon so he could fight it, and these park rangers kept telling his drunk ass, go back inside.